Welcome to our first podcast for the Black Wall Street of Lansing. Today we have who I consider to be an up-and-coming business, one of the premier audio, video recording studios here in the city of Lansing, Platinum Keyz. We have the owners with us, Mr. Mike Williams right here, Mr. Warren Jackson, his wife, Ophelia Jackson. We're honored to have them on our show today. And before we get started, I would just like to let each of them give you a little information about themselves, and then we're going to get into the business part of things. So,
how about ladies first? Huh?
Yeah.
How about they put me on the spot first? My name is Ophelia Jackson. Warren Jackson, my husband. Michael Williams, partners. I am really just here to kind of help the fellas out, throw some ideas out there, pinch the pennies, make sure that we have up-and-coming things that are going to keep us basically making money. That's my forte. I like to look at dollars and cents, and then also I'm pretty creative, so I'm just here as an assist to the guys that know what they're doing. These are the fellas right here. These are the main two.
You don't know what you're doing.
Oh, come on.
They try to act and play like they don't know what they're doing. These guys are the gurus right here.
Yeah.
They don't have a lot of coattailers for nothing.
All right, Warren.
Well, I'm Warren Jackson. I'm the owner and founder of Muted Madness Studios. And along with my partner, Michael Williams, we have Soul of Entertainment. But I'm a filmmaker, videography, cinematographer, production, director, editor is my main thing.
And he's an actor.
A little bit. No, I do a little bit of acting myself also, but the main thing is just film and television, man. That's really what I'm doing. He's the audio guy, and we're here to get this show rolling as far as production in the city, to put a light in the city, Black Wall Street style.
How you gonna steal my line? Well, everybody know I'm Mike Williams, the most common name in the whole wide world. Owner of Platinum Keyz, in conjunction with my partner, who, like I told you before, he owns Muted Madness, and together we make Soul of Entertainment. And our purpose is to bring the soul back into entertainment. It's not just a saying, but it's actually a lifestyle. Because a lot of things are missing in entertainment these days. And it's like everybody want to scratch the surface, but we want to go deeper in everything that we do. It's just not, let's just put this out here for the sake of putting it out here. No, everything means something to us when we put it out there.
Okay. So when you were talking, I heard you mention a couple different kind of like businesses.
Mm-hmm.
So how does that all break down?
You want to answer me?
Well, it's kind of beautifully orchestrated because I do the film production, the video aspect of it, and Michael Williams with Platinum Keyz, they do the aspect of the audio. So if we're doing the production, we're doing the film, I'm editing it, filming it, and then from that point, he does the audio production, the production. It is just a one seamless transition from one place to the next place, and we do it all in house.
Okay. You know, I got to compliment you on your facility.
Oh,
It's definitely professional, beautifully laid out. I was highly impressed. You know, audio and visual has, always been like a little side passion of mine. So, when I walked in there, I was like, wow, man, this is sweet. This is
You want to
sweet.
come in here and play around a little bit in the
Oh,
background.
I'd love to. Before we go further, what's your background? Do you have training in this, or how did you get into this as a business?
What did you do?
Get your
What I
skills
do?
up, man.
Well, back in the day, no. Actually, my love of music starts when I was 5. And I've always wanted to learn how to play piano, and I've always been the kind of person that loved music, and I could point out something, even on the radio, that was going to be a hit. My love came from it when actually I started doing my own music with a gentleman by the name of Eddie Weathington, who ran Old Order Studios. And watching him be a young engineer / producer, and the joy that he had for it, and my love for music in itself, I knew then that I wanted to do that then, even though I was still performing and everything else, I knew I wanted to give back. And so that started 31 years ago in November.
Wow.
That I've been doing that. So I think I'm dating myself right about now.
Yeah.
But my style is forever, so you can't never.
Yeah. Now, I was here one time and you had an artist back there at the soundboard and all of that. You know, that was sweet. I like that.
I appreciate
that. I've had some friends who were in the music business when I lived in another city. And I got to go through that process of watching them making albums.
Okay.
And it's pretty detailed. So, and I learned then, you gotta have skill to do that.
Yeah, for sure.
Because everything sounds good after the fact.
Right.
You know, but to know how to put that piece together, and the artists you had back there, I don't know who they were, but y'all was sounding real professional, real good.
Yeah, our goal is to give you top notch every time we do it.
I believe it.
I mean, not just in audio, but visual as well. And that's the reason why, like I said, there's something missing. We bring that back to the fold.
Right.
And on a side note to what he had mentioned Ed Wethington. I'm gonna give a shout out to Ed. Me and Ed had been in a singing group, an acapella group for years.
Oh, so you got a singing background.
Yeah, so we had actually an acapella group, and this is before I even knew that he knew Ed and worked at Ed's studio. So it's always those ties are always binding. Paths are always crossed.
Gotcha.
And it just crossed into a culmination of this production, what we're doing now. But me personally, I always loved filmmaking. I've done some stuff from film festivals here. I've loved producing shorts. I love editing. I've been out in Hollywood, LA, done some background work out of there. And I've always told myself, if I can take 10% of what I learned out there, relationship-wise, production-wise, and bring it back here to Lansing, I think it would blow up. And I think because of the combination of him and her and this team that we have here, I think the sky's the limit, and people are going to be really surprised at the things that we got going on here.
It's amazing he said about a past cross, because not only did he go out to California to Hollywood, I ended up going to California at the same time.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Y'all didn't know each other.
Did not know that we were not.
No, we knew each other, but we didn't
know each
know
other.
each other. We didn't, as far as having an affiliation like that.
Okay.
But it's always about, he and I always talked about, as far as we both had the same opinion, even though we weren't talking about it then, about what we learned out there, bringing it back here.
Yeah.
Give an opportunity to get back to the capital city.
Yeah, that's a great thing. And you know, I've seen some of your work too. You know, I mean, you can be trying to be humble, but I saw some of your work.
Love doing it. To me, there's things I learned. Like she's a writer. There's things I learned, like as far as production, and you see the production, and you see things behind the scenes, and it just makes me think like, how come this can't be done here? Like it makes no sense. When I'm sitting there watching this, I'm like, yeah, it's on a bigger scale, but I'm like, we could be doing the same thing here. Like Lansing in particular is like a hub. Everything comes from here. It's like the Midwest, you go to Chicago, Detroit, like we're smack in the middle. And this should be one of the meccas as far as entertainment. It should be here in Lansing.
I feel like, I know that with us being here in the Midwest, you know, we kind of got that, you know, Lansing being the capital of Michigan, not too far from Detroit, we got a great edge to us. And it seems like what we have going on here, that grit, that edge, movie makers, they actually come here to capture that. Mm-hmm. They come here, they want a little piece of what the Lansing, Detroit showcases, you know, and they take it back to where they're gonna go out to California or, you know, down in Atlanta, where they're producing films, and they take the edge that we have here someplace else to push it out for public view. We got it here.
Right.
We got it here. The people, the authenticity is here. So with the two of them, we're trying to do something where we encompass this area, put this area on the map, and really showcase us for the, you know, the hard work and everything and the talent that the Midwest actually has to offer that's being, you know, already written about all over the place. But we can produce that here.
Good. Now, do you do all of your work here at this location?
Yeah.
Do you ever think about going out and like shooting movies or?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
This is our foundation, but we're not limited to these, how many of the walls are here.
Okay. I think that's an excellent way to interact and let people know you out here.
Yeah.
Because, you know,
Sure.
they see you out with a camera in your hand, everybody
Mhm.
know
Oh,
what's
man.
going down.
You know, we
Oh,
shot
yeah.
festivals and everything else.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
we're pretty
We're
much
known.
in the community. So,
Yeah, they know us.
but this is the foundation of the hub that we created that people can come to and explore.
So how long have y'all been working together as a team?
Jeez, what, man, as a team, probably what, like 6 months or so like that? Like, really
Officially. Now we work together in concert as far as other events.
Right.
As far as utilizing each other's talents for one particular mission, it's been about like 6 months since September.
So how long have y'all been just knowing each other, working
Oh,
together
that's
before
right.
you went into business?
Oh, wow, a while.
That's way older than this.
A while. It's been a while. We've always run pretty much in the same circles and
Right.
the same people. We've always, it's so weird how things work out. Like we would see each other, hey, what's up, man, we gotta hook on up, and we always talked about doing that. And then the path and the cross, and we'll be like, yeah, we need to do this now. Like he
Right.
mentioned, he was out in LA the same time I was. I'm like, this
That's a
is, that's
big
like,
place.
and it's a big place.
That's
And
a
then
big-
we had a conversation, he's like, that's the same time I was out there. But we always talk about doing something, and we finally like, we was like, let's just put a stamp of approval and get this together and doing this together. And that's why we came to this.
Okay. Now, when you all got started, because a lot of people want to go into business, they're nervous, they're scared, and sometimes, you know, they need help. They need a mentor. Did you have any mentors that taught you your skills, or was it just trial and error, or just, you know, you got a program, so I'm just going to learn it, I'm going to grind it out?
That's a really good question. That's a really an honest, good question. Because I'm sure I have mentors, people that have helped me, influenced me, like, you know, she's encouraged me. But just as far as a mentor, it's I don't know, it's kind of something I'm finding stuff on my own, I guess. You know, it's kind of, that's a great question.
Particular person in your life that I would consider to be a mentor, and that's your godmom, because she.
That would, I would say
I'm gonna
yes.
give a
yes,
shout out to
yes,
Miss
yes,
Shirley
I would say
Carter.
that, absolutely.
She
absolutely.
has been
Absolutely.
in the entertainment world for quite some time, particularly with music, but she's a powerhouse
Absolutely.
as far as like gathering talent, putting things together, knowing about contracts and things of that nature. She's been somebody that he has been able to utilize and look up to, you know, bounce questions back and forth. And not only that, because they have a personal relationship, she's just gonna give it to them all, you know, real raw, and they got free. Also,
Yep.
she's gonna be, she wants him to see him succeed, you know. Some people, they come and they give it to you, but they want to know what's the benefit for them.
Right.
So we have a bit of a gold mine. She's a jewel for us.
Okay.
She's a jewel for us.
And that's a very good point that she's making, specifically with like a mentor. She's definitely a mentor in everything I've done. You know what I mean? As far as filming and production, I'm trying to think of somebody that, you know, that who can I relate to, but it's pretty much a hands-on approach as far as like seeing people, and, you know, that would be my main thing as far as like who helped me out, you know.
Yeah, because I thought, you know, mentorship is very important.
Absolutely.
And I know fields like this, you know, when you have a desire to do it, you want to do it, but there's not always that spot where you can plug in and learn how to do it.
True.
Right,
You
right.
know.
Because that's a valuable resource. If you have somebody that's already kind of paved the way that you either know personally or can have access to via someone else.
That's a very, very good point.
How'd you get your skills?
My skills, well, they've always been homegrown, but like I said before, my partner Eddie Wellington, running his, just watching him, because he was a success from the moment I met him. Success is not necessarily the amount of wealth you accumulate, but doing the thing you love to do and being good at it. He was a great example of how to put things together and how to gather up a team, how to get people interested in what you're doing, and doing a great work at the same time. Because I always believe if you do a great work, the money's going to come anyway, but we can't focus on the money itself, because we have to focus on the work, and that way we can build something promising.
Yeah, like musically, yeah, Eddie was definitely a mentor to me. That's interesting.
I give Eddie too much credit.
Yeah, but but like I said, we
But that's the truth, though. That's the
yeah,
truth.
he's a genius.
He's gonna see this as his gonna blow up.
Yeah, I know, right?
Oh, he's still around town?
Oh, yeah,
yeah.
he's still here. Yeah, he's still here doing his thing.
All right.
I'm actually older than him. That's the thing. It isn't about age. You can learn from anybody.
Sure.
You don't have to be an older guy or older person to be a mentor. I mean, you can learn from the youngest to the oldest, and that's the thing. I mean, another thing is just that when I went to school and everything else, they were trying to teach me things I already knew because I learned it through other people.
Gotcha.
All I need is a certification. I really didn't need that because I already knew that. So my thing is this the best thing I would tell anybody to gather knowledge and then get with somebody that that's doing what you love to do, and then shadow them. I got people in there now who shadow me all the time. Now they're working.
That's what I was going to ask. That were you like a mentor for people? Because I know a lot of people have this interest, especially now today with social media, and blogs, and you know, and all that. Everybody's starting something that's using audio, visual, editing skills.
Yeah.
You have people coming to you wanting to want to learn.
Absolutely. And we're open. We're open for anybody to come in here if you want to learn. If you have a little bit of skill, I'm open to working with anybody. We're all open.
I can say I'm open to an extent.
Okay.
My whole thing is that it'll be genuine in your interest.
Right.
Not just say I want to gather this and get what I can get and just take it and do whatever. So I don't want somebody to basically waste my time. I want you to actually use it.
Gotcha.
What I have to offer you.
Yeah, that's a good point. A lot of people have, you know, I want to make records.
I got a lot of people.
I want to make movies.
What it costs and what it takes to do that, yeah.
I just remember, and I think I told Warren this before, you know, when I would shoot, I was like a home movie guy, going back to the VHS.
Oh,
you know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then I used to learn how to edit them. I had like 2 VHS. I'd be, you know, hooking
Nice,
with them.
yeah.
And then that got to be so frustrating. I kind of backed off. And then when they got digital, it got a little easier. And I remember I shot a little, my nephew's graduation and open house. So I put like a little 20-minute video together for his graduation present. Took me about 3 weeks. I was, you know,
the work is real, ain't it?
the work is real. It's really real. So I understand you don't want nobody coming in that's not serious.
Right.
You really got to have a passion for this kind of work.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
But with that in mind, what were some of the challenges that you faced opening up a business?
Haters.
Haters.
People that don't want to see you succeed. You know, they'll do whatever they can to put roadblocks to see you succeed, and they don't want you to do anything they're not doing. And to me, that's like counterproductive, because if somebody's having success, and you're following what they're doing or you're working with them, you're gonna have success. My godmom Shirley said something perfect. He said, "Your network is your network. If you're around people that are successful, you're gonna be successful." My whole point is like there's a culture sometimes here in town in Lansing, to be honest, people where they just they're cliquish, and it's like they don't want to see you succeed, and it's just like if you could take those resources and you put that much energy into seeing somebody not succeed and putting it into helping each other out, I mean, you're gonna grow and everything's gonna blow up in a good way. But yeah, I just think that the haters, just being honest, the haters, you know, but that's good.
Yeah.
It's gonna
People
motivate you.
have yet to realize, and I don't think it's ever going to be a realization for the masses, is that there is room at the table for everyone. Like, we could make more if we come together, you know, but some folks are just never going to get that.
Especially black, and be real black folks. We have an opportunity to do something incredible. We should be together. We should be focused. We're a good resource as far as entertainment. We have an opportunity.
We are entertainment.
We are
Entertainment. Say it again, bro.
So I mean, yeah, we definitely need to focus and gather ourselves together and to focus and do the right things, man, instead of bringing each other down.
I guess the challenge I would have is like when you're by yourself, you still got to do the work. If that is what you said you're going to be doing, the challenge is still being productive when nobody else is around.
Gotcha.
I mean, it's like this. You can't say you're in business and then there's stuff to do and you want to go hang out and do whatever. I mean, you gotta have some fun and everything, and I appreciate all that. But my whole thing, sometimes you got to work alone. And then people later on, like we talked about it, then people later on come to your side. But you still got to keep grinding it out every day. You got to hustle out every day, and then you got to execute it.
Now, coming together as a business, was it into this location? How did you get to the mall? I mean, because to me, it seemed like that would have been an obstacle right there.
You want me to tell the truth, or don't we tell the truth?
Now, before you tell the truth, I will say this, right? The dynamic of, because, malls around the country are becoming wastelands, right? So the dynamic of coming into a mall situation with the actual studio that does movies, music, and film, and videos, that is because somebody thought outside of the box. They got all these rooms in the mall, all these spaces that has to be filled up because there's not a lot of brick and mortar retail. That's an opportunity. That's a hot iron striking opportunity right there. Now then I'm gonna let them get into the green part of it, and I'm just gonna move on my way back to my number.
It's a long story.
It's
a long story.
Well, only I'm asking because there's people out there that's thinking, man, with that I can't.
Hey, 10
I did
15 years ago.
But look at it now,
It's like almost like an out of body experience, to be honest with you. Sometimes, like when we leave here at midnight and we're the only ones in the mall,
That's the
thing that's crazy because I be thinking like 15 years ago, I was getting out of the mall at 8 o'clock. I had to leave because the mall was closing. And now I'm closing the mall down.
Mm-hmm.
So it's weird, but that opportunity it's strange, that transition. But it was a battle. It was a battle getting in. He'll tell you more about it. He'll tell you the story about it.
Because I was always saying, how did they end up in the mall?
Well, I'm gonna make a long story as short as.
Well, see what happened was.
That one right there.
Go ahead,
I specifically was in a different location, and Warren and another gentleman, they were supposed to be in a different location with me. And because of people's opinions and their, I'm gonna say this as kindly as I can. Because of their position and their irregards of other people, I chose to leave from over there. Well, I didn't choose, actually. They decided to do other things. And come to find out that the mall owned the property. And with that, considering that, I'm not going to go into great detail. This is a long story. A lot of people already know the story, but my whole thing is this: when I basically wanted to move the stuff and try to do somewhere different. Actually, I chose different locations. It was closer to Frandor, and then it was like, "Well, we got property over here." And I said, "Well, you guys close this out. There's no way I'm going to do that because I don't start work until 5 o'clock." And I would like major clientele anyway. I mean, I have some during the day, but that's neither here or there. But they said, no, we would give you 24-hour access. When you told me that, the lights went off.
I was just going to say, you see how your eyebrows went up and you say, oh, we'll give you 24-hour access?
So when they gave me that, to make a long story short, they took us to buildings, the different spaces around the mall and everything else. When they opened up this place, because he had to go, I think, at work or something.
Yeah.
So I was walking around here by myself and looking at some get fireplace. They waited. They had these big drawn black curtains up here and everything else. They said, "Wait right here." They turned on all the lights. Came in here. I could swear I seen diamonds in the floor. I swear I saw. I'm telling him. I'm telling him. I heard the angels singing. Like, oh, here we go. Even though there's stuff all through here and everything else, if you see the back where the studio is located now, everything is set up way. That's why I saw it in my vision exactly just like that. I know I was in the right space. I told Warren's like, you sure? He said, if God showed me that, and that's what we're going to do. That's why we're here.
Yeah, there was that conversation on the phone. I remember.
I was ready to do it.
Yeah, he was like, man, something is telling me, brother. I was like, are you sure about that? I said, you got to move on it. Yeah, like, if you feel that way about it, and then sure enough, I came in here that one day, and I was like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
Like, this space is crazy. Like, the potential, like, this has got to be a trick or something. And then
felt like
I'm going from room to room, and I'm like, all this space?
it is still going.
And it goes on, and I'm like, man, that just literally just took my breath away when I thought about that and I saw that. I was like, this has got to be it.
That what gives you the
energy
to overcome the obstacles.
Absolutely.
And all of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just knowing where we were going to do something similar to this, where we were at.
Yeah.
But because of the obstacles that the person presented, I'm going to tell you, this is all in God's plan. He knows where He wanted to put us.
Mm-hmm.
This is a better opportunity, and it's more easier access to the public as well. And we're in a position now to make a strong impact for us, because not only do we advertise our own stuff, the mall is advertising our stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a backing from them as well.
Okay. Now, I know you're a new business. Has anybody ever tried to talk you out of business?
Yeah.
Or getting started?
Yeah.
Yeah, you have people like, say it's a good idea, but you have to just go on a ledge. You really just got to have faith and trust, and first and more faith in what God has given you and pushing you to do. And secondly, just going on a ledge and believing it. That's the main thing.
I can tell you this. Somebody close and personal to me used to tell me that this is a pipe dream.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to tell you now, that person says a pipe dream, they're not paying me. I'm leaving it at that.
I think that's important because, whenever you do something new, you're always gonna, a brother used to tell me a long time ago, he said, brother, everything has trouble in its infancy. He said, the point is you don't quit because soon you're gonna learn how to walk. So if you have the passion, that's what drives the baby to walk.
Right.
Fall down 100 times, he got a passion to walk. You keep getting up, getting up, getting up, getting up.
Right.
And I think that's kind of what I see in your business. Like you talked about haters and all of that, but you had, all of you had people that kept helping you get up, helping you get up, helping you get up. So I think that's what we need more in our community as voices to say, you can do that.
Actually, since you said that, I want to speak reference to Mr. Jackson. When I was in that situation, I was ready to quit. After almost 30 years, I was ready to quit. He said, God has something greater for you. Just be patient. This is before we even knew about this. Because believe me, my brain went from being a Mr. Nice Guy, just see nice I am now. I was like a Mike Tyson biting ears off of the back situation. And then he said, now God got something special for us. I didn't see it, but I know I'm going to trust you. Because you're trusting God, I'm trusting you right now. And when you can have enough faith to believe that, that's why we had to be, definitely, we were talking about connecting back in April, but then COVID hit. I think it was his fault. I think he brought COVID. Because after COVID hit, I got sick. But anyway, no, but I'm serious. I have to give him credit on that. Because I was ready, but also I had to realize, even then when I was doing the business over there, I had other people that were already coming in that were working, and I couldn't let them down as well.
It was definitely, at that moment, and reflecting on it, man, it was, in that situation, because I was like, I told my wife, I said, I got to get there, because, I got to check to see what's going on, because it was not a good situation, but I'm driving, and I'm kind of laughing at the situation, because I'm like, I just knew God had something bigger, like something bigger was going on at work, and I kind of giggled to myself, and it was an intense situation.
I was mad.
But I was giggling because I knew what was going to happen. Like I sensed something great was going to happen.
Gotcha.
I'm like, boy, you have no idea. Like this individual had no idea what God had planned.
Right.
How many times you tell me that?
Yeah.
Until I actually believed it.
I remember
Because it took me about 45 minutes to calm down.
Yeah.
I was still mad.
Yeah.
I said, okay, I'm going to let it go.
I remember hearing people saying, it's always darkest before the dawn.
Always.
Yeah.
That's the truth.
When you get to that dark place, like you said, you was ready to bite, it was
I was
all
all
the hell.
Yeah.
That's the time, I think, whether you're going in business or whatever, that's the time. And it's also good at that time, you got somebody that can come along and say, hey man, get up.
Yeah.
Get up, come on. And I think just that combination, playing off each other, makes you good partners.
For sure. Absolutely.
Makes you good business partners. The future. What are your plans for the future for your business? Where do you see yourself going?
Whoa. Where do we start?
Let's in the next year. Let's start.
Where do we start?
That's still a lot. We have Hollywood directors coming here. We're supposed to be executive producing a couple of programs, including pilots. They're shooting it here. We're going to be the whole production team right here. What else we got going? We got the different events
Oh, yeah.
that are happening all year long. We're still filming several different festivals out there.
Yeah.
I can keep going. I mean, because
Fashion shows?
yeah, the fashion show coming up.
So if somebody's putting on an event and they want to record it,
They come to
Kind of be the ones behind.
come right up.
Yeah.
Come on in.
It's available.
we also have like different artists that are being released
Oh, yeah.
through
You know,
us.
I was going to ask about that because, you know, I mean, I haven't really heard, and maybe it's on me, of Lansing being a hot spot for recording artists.
Mhm.
I mean, I've seen people with their, you know,
Mhm.
little hip hop videos or whatever is on Facebook or whatever. You know, and I'm not going to knock them because some of them sound pretty good.
Yeah.
But I can see where some of them don't have that professional edge to them.
Right.
You know, what's the talent level like here in Lansing when it comes to recording?
Well, I think it'll be a lot better if Lansing, there's some people that have extraordinary talent here. But then there's a lot of people see what other people do, so instead of being unique, they want to be a follower. I think we have to get out of that mindset of being like someone else. We got to bring our own uniqueness, our own unique creativity to the table. I believe if everyone, because there's a lot of talent here, they're good at mimicking each other. But there's certain ones out of the crowd, you know when you see them,
Yes.
they stand out. So,
That's a very
You
good.
guys, can they do a artist development
Oh, okay.
oh,
seminar, like to basically, you know, instruct people on how to get on, basically. Give the constructive criticism that every artist needs. I don't care
right.
where you are in your journey of your, you know, your talent, your craft, whatever it is, genre of music that you do, or even in just acting. You know, these people, they still take Beyonce. She has a vocal coach. You cannot get past growing within yourself. So the artist development training that they give is really to help people think outside of the box. Because, you know, kind of like what he was saying, Lansing is kind of a bit of a follower box type mentality, just because they haven't been presented with
Right.
other options.
That's better.
And they are here to present other options. You don't have to be the one that's coming behind the other one. You could be a whole trailblazer by
Right.
yourself. Develop what you have, because, you know, you think that this is what's going to help you get on, and then shoot up. But maybe if you just went on ahead and shot on out there, you could be the one. And Lansing has the potential, I believe, to have its
they
own
do.
sound,
They do.
the way that Motown had its own sound.
That's what we're working on.
Lansing has a potential to be its own entity, movie-wise. I keep saying that I want us to be like the Midwest movie hub. We have so much talent here that I know that these two guys right here can bring it out. I know they can bring it out.
Speaking of the arts development thing, we're also developing courses and classes in cinematography,
Yeah.
as well as music
Yeah,
production.
I was going to ask about that. Tell us about that.
Well, we're actually in the process of putting together a class, and we're going to probably rotate it with the Artist Development Conference, where we'll do like film production, teach film production, be a little video editing, and we'll have assistant directors in there that work on smaller projects coming in as guest speakers. But that's something, we want to be the one-stop shop for everything. You learn something, you get to feel you do something. We want to be the one-stop shop for everything, audio, video, everything.
As far as music production courses, I've been doing more like a one-on-one type thing right now until we develop. Because people like to pick my brain. They'll call. One guy called me middle of the night, like 11:30 last night, asking questions. Said, "I'll cash that piece." It's okay. Only because he's a friend of mine. I told him go ahead and keep it. But my whole thing is that we try to be accessible to people who actually want it.
Yeah.
Remember I said part of the genuine interest.
Right.
So when they have a genuine interest, I get up for that.
Right. Yeah. I think that's just good for me to hear, that whatever you've learned, the struggles you've overcome in learning how you're doing what you're doing to
Right.
develop your skill,
Right.
you're willing to offer that back.
Right, of course.
To
Give
save the next person's
Yeah, come
time.
back. That's what it's about.
All they gotta do is you say, just come humble
Right.
and ready to learn and sincere, and they can save themselves some of them late night hours of banging their head up against the wall. How come this don't work? And How can I get this to fit? And all that.
That's what a real.
They've been down here. They done
I know that.
You know they done busted their ass.
That's what a real community does.
Right,
It's
right.
supposed to do.
Right.
And that's why the black community, this is a lesson for everybody. This is what we need to do. We need to give back, reach out, give back, be inclusive, be really inclusive.
Right.
I've always told you, I never did this business for myself. I did it for everybody else. I did it for anybody that wanted to learn. I did it with what you say in biblical terms. I want to leave an inheritance for my children's children. So that means this is we breaking a cycle of any kind of abnormality of being thinking that we have to be a certain way. No, we can be independently wealthy. We can be independently successful. We don't have to depend on someone else. We have a gift and a talent within us that we can cultivate and make the whole family lineage great.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Right. I can just see this being a springboard to not just putting Lansing on the map, but, because you can put something on the map, but don't mean there's no substance behind it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But to produce, just like you were saying, Motown had the Motown sound.
right.
Yeah.
But Motown, Detroit also was known for automobiles. And,
Right.
Right.
And this, so Lansing could be known as, entertainment hub.
Right.
You're looking for artists, and you said Hollywood is kind of
There's so much potential in as far as that people don't even know. Like, Sam Raimi graduated from Michigan State, James Caan from Michigan State. They're talking about all these great Hollywood producers, directors and stuff. They come from this area. They're familiar with that. You know what I'm saying? And Lansing in general, we have an immense amount of talent. We've been out there. I've been out there. I've seen it. I'm not saying like being out in the West Coast in LA, they don't have the talent, because they do. But boy, there's a lot of untapped potential here. There is a lot of untapped potential. We've seen that with some of the casting calls we've had.
And we're going to continue to do those casting calls.
Absolutely.
Yeah, tell me about the casting calls. How often do you do those?
We stopped them for a while because of the whole COVID thing, and then there were a few things that happened that we had to slow down a little bit. But
Yeah, we've got so many things, I think, in the woodworks right now. We're trying to streamline just getting our routines, schedules together, because we've got things that we've been wanting to springboard and put into play. And so there's been some things that have kind of been pulled back on, just so that we can make sure that we have a flow. We want to do this so many times a year. We want to do this or a month or once a month or whatever. And then just getting an all the way around routine together to make sure that we always have something in the woodworks moving and going forward. But, and that takes when you're still also building a team. It takes a bit of time.
And with the casting 2 calls that we've had, we had like casting directors from Hollywood and LA on casting Zoom calls, watching some of the talent, giving their feedback, because there's some productions that we're doing here, so that's why we do the casting calls.
Can't tell you everything.
And everything.
Right.
And everything.
I understand. You got to keep some things,
If you told you everything, might have to tie you up in the closet.
Right. Everything happened,
Then we let you go.
Yeah, just another thing I want to kind of just touch on briefly too, is because, as a husband and wife team, I'm sure there's a lot of people out here that want to go into business, and they think, should I go on with my husband, should I go on with my wife? When did y'all get the idea to go into business?
Well, the thing about it is, when me and him decided to partner up to do business-wise, we already had a team with us. We had our wives with us. So they were already part of it, the decision making and everything. They were already part of it. And so it wasn't hard.
No.
It's like once we decided we were going to do it, they was like, okay, we're in this together.
Right.
Okay.
And big shout out to Felicia.
She'll be right back.
But yeah, we had that team. Once we all decided to do that, we were just kind of like, this is us. It's go time.
Right.
I wanna say to address it from being part of the support group. Absolutely, as a husband and a wife, you should absolutely and undoubtedly say, let's do this together. That is going to be your biggest support system ever if you have support at home to get your dreams and your wishes off of the ground. Because ultimately, nobody goes down that path without thinking about their family, without thinking about there's got to be a better way.
Right.
There's got to be something that I can pass on.
Right.
So that is an absolute yes. If your husband, if your wife are saying, let's do this, sit down at the table together over dinner, talk it through, come up with some ideas, make it functional in the mind, and then go forward.
Good point. Good point. So, how has it affected the relationship?
Oh, we be arguing.
I don't know.
No, I mean,
Oh, I didn't hear it now.
I thought it brings us
You
closer.
see you moving
because-
away from me? He said we get closer.
No, but-
Scooched over closer.
I think in all honesty, it brings us closer because any decision I make directly affects her, and they're together. Felicia, we're all in that decision-making process. So it's nice. It's really nice to know that you have that support, and we can all sit and talk like, let's do this. I love it because that it's not about just me. It's about the team, and then we're doing it together. So that pressure.
Selfish mode.
Exactly. I don't have to have that pressure just by myself.
Gotcha.
Because sometimes it's
Person.
Yeah.
I like telling you stuff, so I don't have to be the only
Yeah.
one to get it.
Like, oh,
So tell the thing that makes you
right.
Make sure I got the other half.
Yeah.
I mean,
think that's
it's a process though, because you got two heads. You always have two different streams of ideas, right? And then those streams of ideas got to come together somewhere. There's got to be a meeting of the minds. But then once you have a meeting of the minds in one aspect, then you have to say, okay, so how do we get from here to here to here to here? There's always got to be meeting of the minds when you're coming down and you're trying to streamline your idea and making it productive, making it actually to a point where you're recognizing the passion for both individuals involved and making sure that the passion stays alive and you don't like beat each other up in the tidbits of things.
I was saying, not to go all deep in it, but does it affect your home life? Your business life? Or can y'all
About
like
5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah, we talk about it, but it's like we talk. I guess in a good way because we're always brainstorming. Like
I'm so glad Felicia in here, so I gotta ask you.
It's just like when you have somebody to bounce something off of at home, because you
so
can be
true.
at home. You lay in the bed, you're talking, you're thinking about this. You get ideas, you get excited. Like,
Right.
yeah.
Can't sleep.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can do this.
And a creative head is always just like,
Yeah.
and you see the shiny part, but then you don't see where it's like a diamond, you gotta grind it out before it shines and becomes something valuable, right? So when the creative head always sees the shine, and then you gotta pull yourself back. You're like, wait a minute, how are we gonna do this? That's when you have those moments where you just like, okay. But then you gotta realize that at the end of the day, you always come back to the shine, And you just gotta really know and understand, like, everything's a process. There is no easy point in your life ever. Think back. Before you bought that first car.
It's always
And you
something.
got you're excited about the car. Then you gotta pay car insurance, you gotta pay car notes, you gotta make sure the car stays full of gas, you got maintenance. So there's never any given point in life. All your aspects of life is gonna take that time.
Yeah.
Then you still enjoy the pieces where you're like, you got your gay moments.
So, your spouses are involved. You guys are teamed up. You said your wife is not here, but she's still on your team, right? So, what advice would you give couples who are in business or looking to start a business? I know there's a lot, but just a few pointers. Because I know there's people that, I've heard people say, worst thing you do is go into business with your wife.
And that
I would agree with that. Yeah,
I would disagree with that.
Yeah.
Because if you don't have your wife supporting you or your husband, vice versa, supporting you, that's not gonna last.
Yeah.
Because you need someone to have a foundation to lean upon and actually express about, like you said, bounce ideas and opinions off of how she would proceed in different areas. If you totally cut out your spouse in that situation, that's like alienating a part of your business.
Yeah.
Because they bring a different perspective to what you're doing. Because like men, we think a certain way.
Yeah.
We get a certain way, but then a lot of times women can actually balance us out.
Yeah, for sure.
The way, okay,
Yeah.
we're not so gung ho this way, but we
Yeah.
can go ahead and bring it back into the middle.
Yeah.
So I would say keep trusting. You gotta have trust each other for one. If y'all trust each other, y'all shouldn't have been together in the first place.
And that's a very good point. And even beyond that, you have that spouse has to be supportive. They have to be supportive.
So your advice is get a supportive spouse.
Yeah.
That's always
Get your spouse.
That is so true.
Yeah.
Because even in my challenges of doing that, I've been in this business just a little while longer than I was married. And I've dealt with particular girlfriends and everything at the time. And some, if they don't have the right mindset, as far as like talking about being supportive and really truly genuinely there for you, their opinion of the situation is to get what they can get and get out.
Sure.
It's not necessarily that we're going to go through, we might go through hard times or rough times. So I'm going to still stick it out with you. You know, my wife has been there since day one, and she's never left my side. Even when people told us how you didn't find somebody that's doing the regular old traditional way. I've never been regular. I'm not saying I'm irregular. but I've always worked a traditional job, but it comes to a point in time, you got to pursue the work that you've been created to be. And that's just what I've been created to do.
Okay. We're gonna wrap this up. We kind of running a little short on time, but I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying the conversation. Where do you see? Well, I already asked you about your business in the future and your advice for couples. Now, what is just your best business advice?
Do it. Just do it. Don't be afraid. And I won't say don't be afraid. Let that fear propel you to drive you. You know what I'm saying? Because you're going to always have people say you shouldn't do it, you can't do it, and they can explain, they'll complain and say, and tell you why you shouldn't do it. But the thing about it is those people should be telling you why you should do it. And just believe in yourself, man. Just believe. Just believe in yourself, man. You know, sometimes you just be that light. Sometimes you just have to take a step, a chance.
I would say is just that whatever you do is not meant for everybody else. So it doesn't matter if the next man supports you. If that's what your dream is to do, pursue it.
Follow your dream.
And then you have that supportive spouse, whether it be male or female, you can have that synergy or that energy to move forward. I mean, you have to pursue what your work is, not what everybody else.
When you say,
I'm sorry. I would say make a plan.
But yeah, do that. Definitely.
Stick to the plan. Do not abandon the plan. Make adjustments to the plan when necessary, but stay the course.
Yeah.
Because that's where we fall apart. When you don't make the adjustments to the plan, because the road's gonna get hard.
Oh, yeah.
Just don't abandon the plan. It's for you.
Yeah,
The
right.
plan was the seed in your heart.
Right.
Stick to the plan. Don't abandon the plan.
Gotcha. Last question. As business owners, what are you most proud of? What's your biggest accomplishment so far?
I can tell you this, that my son works with me.
That's awesome.
What's that?
That my son works with me.
Okay.
That's awesome.
What's
That's
that?
my biggest accomplishment.
Biggest accomplishment.
Because that's what I do it for.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Me personally, haven't heard. Here, working, it's crazy. We've only worked together like at a factory, but like actually working creatively together. That's the interesting, and that's like the biggest accomplishment, making sure like we can do this together, and she's actually part of the team. That's to me, that's my biggest personal accomplishment.
And y'all worked together before this, right?
Yeah, we were working at a factory, at a job, man.
And there was a lot of pay there.
Wait, how long have y'all known each other?
Yeah, how long y'all know each other? I go way.
Go to the slum.
I want to tell you because it shows. I can feel that y'all know each other long. I can tell.
I think that's a major training period. When you work together, and then you have to. And when I say work together, we're talking about a budding relationship when people don't really like the fact that you're together. People try to drive you apart.
Yeah.
that right there takes a lot of strength. Gives us a whole
I would
entire
say-
workplace
What do you say,
just
like-
in your relationship.
Like
So, I don't
18
know.
to 18 to 20 years. or
Oh
something.
gosh.
That long.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
it's been longer than yo.
2022.
Yeah.
2000. No. 2000.
You said 18 to 20
showed-
years.
2001.
That's 21.
I'm dating myself. Hold on. Lear. That's what we, and it's 2022, so we're talking.
You said, okay. I apologize. I'm getting caught up on the part where you said 18, and I was like,
No, it was.
because I'm thinking 20 years, maybe a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Because in actuality, 18 years, we're coming up on being together.
07. No.
So you
I didn't
go
think
by-
nobody
you
in
go by
trouble
that.
now.
Now, he ain't gonna be in trouble. 'Cause
I want to make sure, like I want to make sure that I'm right, and I'm looking at the date.
Man, you know why he ain't gonna be in trouble? Because we owe. The brains be, I forget our anniversary every year.
but
But
we-
hey, buddy, hey. But yesterday.
Exactly.
Wow.
It's been a while. It's been a long time. You can see, y'all can see.
Right.
Wow.
But that's your proudest accomplishment, being able
Yeah.
to work with your wife.
Sure. Yeah.
Share a vision.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
it's
that's
unique.
nice.
It's definitely.
I remind my wife all the time how long we've been together. Because I be reminding her, it reminds me. So I don't forget. Because I'm not going to be the one that's sitting outside like Fred Flintstone. Set up like a cat.
Yeah.
Next one, Kurt.
Yeah. Your proudest moment or accomplishment so far?
I was honestly gonna say being able to watch him grow in this, because there you see when you're able to see something, it's just like a child. When you're able to see something that's budding in an individual, and then you have an opportunity to sprinkle that with enough love and attention for the benefit of them, I would say that's probably my proudest moment. Just being, the yin to the yang when I need to be, and actually being able to kind of, learn a little bit from him myself. And I don't look at movies the same because of the things that I've learned from him. And I would have to say being able to write for some of the stuff that he does.
Y'all so sweet. Y'all so sweet.
I'll get it.
Yeah. Well, with that, I just want to thank you all.
No, thank you.
I think it's been a great conversation. I'm totally impressed on behalf of myself and the Black Wall Street of Lansing.
Black Wall Street.
I
Yes.
want to thank you for your time. Thank you for your contribution to the community. And I know I'm looking forward to maybe attending a class or something.
Yeah,
come
come on.
Yeah, you don't
And
even have
working
to
with
take
y'all.
that. Just come on anytime. There's always coffee. Sometimes there might be snacks.
Yeah, okay. I'm really looking forward to that. I just think this is a great asset to this community.
Thank you. We
And,
appreciate it.
Great asset.
and shout out to Mr. Leo Brown over there. Let me tell you
Absolutely.
something.
Leo! Yeah.
And you and everybody on the staff, I think this is such a positive platform.
Yes.
This is an incredible platform. And we need to support this, man. We need to support this. This is something revolutionary as far as like in the city of Lansing. Get on this. If you want to support something, get on this Black Wall Street here.
Perfect opportunity.
Right.
Absolutely.
Opportunity.
Well, our plan will be, just to say, not host, but to have other interviews with other business owners, get their story. Hopefully it motivates those who are sitting on the fence or those who are thinking about it.
Yeah.
But the objective for us is to see the Black business community feed each other and support each
Yeah.
other.
Yeah.
And grow together.
Yeah.
But the impact, I'm just an impact on young people type of person. I want to see little Hakeem and little, Sharita say, I want to be like them.
Right.
You know what I mean? I want to be like them.
That's the goal.
Now you got me saying, I want to be like Ishmael.
Oh, come on now. You already doing fine. Trust me. So with that, on behalf of the Black Wall Street of Lansing, I want to thank you all for watching. I hope you tune in to our future broadcast. May God bless you. Peace.